Hello, how's it going? Welcome back. It's been a little while since I made a video before. The things just kept getting in the way, and the weather's not been great either, but I thought today was the day, and I was just gonna go out and make a video. So let's get into it. So I just want to start off quickly by saying I was really chuffed with the response that the last two videos got. I've really enjoyed reading through the comments and responding, so thank you very much for that. That was really good to see. In a few of the comments, people had mentioned that they would like to see a bit more emphasis on gear reviews or just me talking about the type of stuff that I use. I think somebody mentioned about clothes, which I'll probably talk about in another camping video, but today I thought I'd start with probably the best thing to start with. Something that it's a rabbit hole that I can spend hours down every time I'm looking for a new backpack. That's kind of my life consumed. I've got 3 backpacks here. I use them for sort of specific purposes. I use all 3, but for different reasons. I figured I'd go through each one, talk about what makes them ideal for what I use them for, and maybe areas that I think they could improve in. That way, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about getting a new backpack and you're looking at one of these, if there's something that I think that it could improve on and that's a deal breaker for you, you don't have to waste any more of your time down the rabbit hole and you can look for something else. So that's the plan anyway. I'll get into the first backpack now and we'll see what the crack is. Okay, this is the Osprey Atmos AG 65 litres. It's probably my least favorite. I mean, I don't think that's fair to say. It's my least used. This is mainly has the purpose of being for multi-day hikes or super long hikes. I mainly go like camping for a couple days at a time, and I'll take one of the other backpacks. But this is it's built solely for comfort, and yeah, the ability to allow me to walk long distances, and that's it. That's the main priority for this backpack. You can see here, this is the anti-gravity system, back support system. As your waist opens up the waist pads here, it adds tension to the mesh, and then trying to make it so that you can get a good view of it. There you go. You can see how far that comes off your back and how much space you have in between your back and the pack. So in this backpack, you've got a little flap there that you can see that will separate the very bottom, so you can have your sleeping bag and yeah, like sleeping bag or tent if it's really small or whatever you want, but you can separate it from the main compartment, which is pretty good for organization, which is something that you really do want if you go on long distances as well. You don't want to have to be taking everything out of your backpack and putting it back in, which I think a lot of the time is a problem with these traditional style hiking backpacks, the super long ones. You will have to end up taking everything out and loading it back in. So to try and avoid that as much as possible is always great. So we've got the clip here. This is used for a water bladder, which I do have for this, but I didn't bring it out. But yeah, the water bladder just pretty much sits in there and clips around it, and then it pops out. I believe it's out. Is there a zip, or is it out? Where is it? Ah, there we go. It goes basically in there, comes out of the back there, and then you just you put it on the wherever you want, really. I've got like a magnet thing that you snap it to, but it comes off pretty often. Okay, so this is a pretty cool feature. So here on the back we've got a pouch for your water, and you can whack it in the top here like that. And then you just got a normal water pouch, and it's nice and secure there. But if you had the backpack on, it's a bit of a faff to get to it. Okay, so there is a separate, there's a separate hole in the side to make it just a little bit easier to get it in there. And then once it's in a much better position for you to take it out as you're walking. So it makes things a lot easier when getting water. And on the top of the backpack, we've got a nice cavernous pocket, and we've got one here. This usually has the waterproof in, but I've taken that off, and I think I've put it on another backpack. But yeah, so that would attach to this, or I think there's another thing in there. Yeah, here. That would attach to that loop so that it doesn't actually come out. But say you wanted to go smaller, you didn't need any of this filled and it's just wasted space. What you can do is you can actually detach this from the top of the backpack, and it'll have like a minimalistic fold that you could use as the top instead of having that extra those extra pockets and that potential extra weight. And we've also got 2 pouches here that are decent size, so that's it's good for your wallet or your keys or something like that. We've got attachment points for walking poles, and I think there's other attachment points for walking poles on the back as well that you can optionally put in. I think that's what they are. Yeah, but it's I like that you can put it in and you don't have to have it if you don't carry the poles around. We have also got a big mesh pocket on the front, which is good to use for maps. It's got a clip as well, just in case you get it out loads. But yeah, so map or rubbish is good. It's good to put in there just while you're hiking, so you don't drop it anywhere ridiculous. Yeah, so that's nice to have. I think I've put slippers or something in there as well, just for the evening if it's a particularly long walk. Yeah, we've got lash points. We've got one here, 2 on the front, the standard whack your sleeping bag there, your tent there, or roll mat or something. 2 more on this side, and we've also got 2 pretty big pockets. So you see there, it's not bad. When I first got this, I didn't know that these were there, and I didn't realise until, well, longer than I should have. I think so. When I was first looking for this, I was gonna buy it because I think they've got an ultralight version of the Atmos, but I don't think it has the anti-gravity back to it. Now the thing with Osprey is, really good brand, it's really good quality, the customer service is also really good, but the backpacks are like 300 quid. It's definitely like a big commitment. I got this one secondhand for about half the price, if not more. I'd always recommend that, because it's something that you're gonna be taking out and you're gonna be trashing, really. So you don't want to be. I think for me, if I'm spending 300 to 400 pound on something, I'm gonna baby it, and that's not what I want to do at all. I'm gonna be worried about it breaking. I'm gonna be worried about ripping it or getting it stained or something like that, and then it's pointless. There was no point in getting it. So I think the ultralight version maybe had more pockets on the front or something. I can't remember. I think it looked a bit cooler. It was in green. I would have liked this to be in green. I don't know. Maybe this is just my budget, but I think the majority of these backpacks, just so we can get this out there, I've probably spent about 140 quid on each one. Okay, I think that's all right. It doesn't go over the threshold of me then being like, oh no, I need to look after it. What if it gets ripped on a tree or something? I don't have to deal with that then, because for 140 quid, you're going to be getting a decent backpack that's going to be made of decent materials, but it's also not going to be like 300 to 400 quid. Anyway, okay, so I've shown you the features. They're the highlights. I'll tell you areas that I think some improvement would be good. I'm not expecting any changes to be implemented in this, but this is just solely areas that I feel like it falls short a little bit, or things that maybe I'm not super thrilled about. So the first one I would say for this one, and it's quite a big thing, I think, for me, because I don't count weight too well when I pack bags. I overpack. I'm an overpacker, and I don't really care how heavy it is. I'll just deal with it. I'll just whack it on and deal with it. I'd rather just have enough stuff, and maybe I don't feel like I take loads of luxury stuff. I feel like I have to defend myself here. For some reason, the ultralight and the non-ultralights seem to have this war that's been going on before time. I don't want to piss off any ultralighters. I've got big respect for ultralighters. I myself am not an ultralighter. I feel like The gear for the ultralight stuff is a lot more expensive usually, and and again, I might be wrong about this, and I'm sure somebody will disagree with me here, but I feel like the lighter you get, the more fragile it is. That's my main thought towards ultralight stuff. Somebody might disagree. I'm not trying to start a fight here. I'm not trying to start a war. That's just my opinion. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. I'm sorry about that. I went off on a mad tangent there. The anti-gravity back is really, really good unless you fill it with about 20 kilograms. Now, I know what you're going to say. 20 kilograms is a lot. Why would you fill it 20 kilograms? Well, let me tell you. First time I did the coast to coast, or attempted the coast to coast, I didn't make it. Surprise, surprise. I had 23 kilograms with me, and in this bag, and it was hell. And I was kicking myself for bringing stuff that I didn't need to bring. I would look at items that I had in there and be like, I've not even used you once. What am I doing? What am I doing? So it's probably not a bad idea to never have that much weight in your bag, especially if it has this. But what I did notice was, and the second time I did it, I packed way less, and I didn't notice this as much. But when it was on my back and it was heavy, when I would turn, and I'm not like jetting around too quickly, but when I would turn, the backpack wouldn't stop turning because it's so far off my back that it would give me that a little extra push, and it started to get to the point where I could see a twisted angle on the way. So like if you just walk in and you turn around, and then it gives you an extra like whoa. So obviously that's not good, but some might say that that's my fault, and I'll accept that. So maybe write that one off. I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, so that was one of them. What did I have for the other one? I think it was just organization, which I think I already touched upon. I think with these backpacks, organization is somewhat limited anyway because they're just tubes. I think it does a good job for what it is. I think this extra pack here and this extra pack there is pretty good. But ultimately, when you get one of these super long ones, you're going to end up digging. At some point, you're going to have to end up digging. Yeah, but I don't know why I wrote that down, because I feel like it's not that bad, really. Okay, so that's this one. Done. So next up, we have one that you've definitely seen before. It was in one of my previous videos, but you must have seen it. I feel like this is a super popular one. This is the Karrimor Sabre 45. It's made of this really, really tough material here that it's like bomb-proof. It's not going anywhere. The downside is that it's heavy. It's a heavy material, and it's quite a heavy bag for the size of it. 45 litres, significantly smaller than the hiking one, but it's got a little trick. First off, we'll go into the features and then I'll tell you about the little trick. We've got loads of attachment points on the front. These are where you would usually have the bottom attachment here. It doesn't really have a clip, which I suppose would be somewhat of a downside. It's got these loops that you get a lot of slack in this clip, and this is the clip that goes from here to here. If you loosen this enough, you can get this to fit most things in it, but it's just a little bit more of a chew on than it would have been had there been a clip. So yeah, I mean, it does actually work. It's just maybe there would have been a better way to do it, but I don't know, maybe these like walk and pull things are more beneficial to most other people. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, I believe this backpack is like a Special Forces style backpack or something. I think it's a Karrimor Sabre SF, isn't it? So, and that I think stands for Special Forces. So that's why this backpack's main objective here is just to be solid. It's a sturdy bit of kit, and it's not going to break. It maybe goes down in a few other areas, but for heavy duty, it takes a lot of the boxes. Like look at these clips. It's a meaty clip. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear the power of that? Double drawstring top. Inside, it's not super, you know, there's nothing crazy about it. It's got one little pouch here, and that's all you're getting. Mesh topper here on the inside with a nice, I think it's a YKK zip. Yeah, it is. I think most of these have YKK zips. They're the boys for zips. Yeah, so you can whack your stuff in to that mesh. That's good for keys. You've got one zip pocket pouch for the lid, and that's a decent size. It's also got these straps here so you can attach anything you want. I'm going to stop listing things that you can attach, because you can just attach anything that you want. I feel like I did that on the last backpack, where I was just like, you put your sleeping bag in here, your tent in here if it's small enough. That's enough of me listing stuff now. You just attach whatever you want. I'm not entirely sure what these are for. I use them for carabiner clips a fair bit, to keep them in one place and keep them organised, but it does mean that you jingle a little bit. You don't get any pockets on this one. One thing that I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again because I really, really like it, is the amount of slack you get on these zips. And there's a reason for these side ones, sorry, on the clips. There's a reason for these side ones, but all of them give you loads of excess strap to play with. So you can strap loads. I'm so close to listing stuff again. You can strap whatever you want on this, but it just gives you loads of freedom. They come with these clips as well here, so that with the excess, you can keep it down so it's not like slapping about all over the place when you walk, which is nice. I think I've gone through all of the features and the things that I like about this backpack. Now I'm going to go into one of the things that really makes it stand out from other backpacks. Right, and that's this. These side pouches are massive, and they've got these sturdy zips, and you can see here they've got two zips on either side. You put on the pouch, you find these zips on either side, get it all zipped up. It does have clips at the top, but I'll not bother doing that now. This strap here is so long because it goes around, it is meant to go into these loops, but again, just for the sake of showing you, I'll not spend loads of time doing that. Yeah, and then what you've got is, with them both on, a huge backpack. I think this must work out to about 70 litres or something like that. Like, it's big. So not only do you get a really heavy duty backpack, so it ticks that box. It ticks the box of, you're not going to have to worry about this. You're not going to have to do loads to take care of it. It's going to take care of itself. It's a solid bit of kit. But you've also got this added organisation bonus to it. Now, when I've used this backpack, these side pockets are just, they're like nothing else. They're so good. You can have your main sleep system, extra clothes and stuff in the main section. You know, your pillow, you can attach a tent outside or your hammock outside or something. And then one side, and this is what I like to do, one side I'll put my whole cook kit in, I'll put all of my food in, and then the other side I'll put like personal items, like I suppose an axe would go in there. The axe can also go in between the two bags, and it'll be held there by the friction of the if they're both full, so that's good. Yeah, so I'll put things like my slingshot or something in the other side, and then extra things there. Or I've had it before where I've only taken one side, and I've put a seat on this side, had fishing gear on the other side, which is great. So for the possibility of, like, the capability of organisation in this backpack, it's really, really good. Now, I think as well, I may have lied when I said I'd paid £140 for each of these bags. This was for the main body. I did have to pay extra. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been 30 quid for these two side pouches. So just so you know. Obviously, I will put a link in the description to all of these backpacks if you wanted to look more into it. Yeah, so now that I've done this, I've talked about everything that I like about it. I kind of think of anything else to mention other than the things that I maybe don't like about it. Now, this backpack is great for many things, as you've just seen. The only place that it really falls short, apart from the weight that I already mentioned, that it is quite heavy, is the back support. And it's really annoying, this, because you get, oh, made a friend. You get all of this space to play with, and you get to fill it with so much stuff, and it obviously is going to get more and more heavy because of it, and the back support just punishes you. It punishes you for it. One thing that I really don't like is this rim here. When this bag is heavy, this edge, it doesn't half do a mischief on your lower back. It's annoying. If only they'd made this pad wrap around or something, then it could have been a little bit better. But altogether, I think the problem with most of these Bergen style backpacks is that the back support is just non-existent. They really just want you to fill it with as much as you can and then just jog on. And I suppose with it being a Special Forces backpack, it's not ultimately made with comfort in mind. It's mainly just to get the job done, which is how I use it pretty much. I'll use it if I'm going for a couple of days and I'm not planning on taking something with immense weight. I really need that organization capabilities. Maybe I've got a few things planned. Maybe I'm doing hiking one day or fishing one day or something, you know, and I want those separate bags, because there's nothing better than being able to get to camp, get all of your sleep set up and your tent set up and whatever, and then just take these side bits off and be like, right, well, this is my cook bag, and then this is my fishing bag, and then you don't even need to spend time getting everything in one place because it's already done. So that's the real strength of it, and this is the real weakness of it. Yeah, I just feel like maybe there's a mod or something that can be done out there that somebody's done to make this a bit more adjustable, because it's such a good bag. With maybe like even with a frame, it would be unreal, and with an extra like bit here, just to keep it super padded, it would be great. But yeah, that's the Sabre 45, and we'll move on to the next one now. Now this is my most recent backpack. I maybe got this a couple of years ago. It is the Decathlon Solognac hunting pack. This is a French company. I was a little bit unsure about it because I couldn't find any reviews anywhere when I got this backpack, so I definitely think it's worth reviewing. Now the reason I got this is because of its little, well, I suppose like the other one had the side pouches, this has something else that it does, and I just couldn't resist it. I just needed to see what it was like, and all in all, I really do like this backpack. So I'll go into the features now. This backpack is for hunting, so there are like gun bits to it. Like this is meant to hold your gun in place. There's also something that folds out of here. Ah, look, the Osprey waterproof cover. Anyway, this is meant for the stock of the gun. Obviously, I don't hunt, so I don't need those things, which is why this is now the rain cover section. But yeah, one thing that is really great about this backpack is because it's a little bit more that tube style that I was telling you about, that like the traditional hiking pack style, that is oftentimes really difficult to find things in. It's got this, so you can just fold it out, and you've got the complete contents of your bag, which makes things a lot easier. If you're looking for something that might be like further to the bottom, you can just unzip it and then get it from here instead of having to take everything out from the top. So that was definitely something that I was really excited for when getting this backpack. It does have side pockets as well, similar to the last one. These ones are nowhere near as big, but they're good for tent pegs or something. Yeah. What else we got? We got side pouches for your water bottle. I don't know why I struggle to say water bottle there. This does have two bottom clips for your roll mat. I'm listing stuff again for whatever you want. For whatever you want, you can put whatever you want in here. And on the lid, we have a pocket inside, a little one. and pretty big one on the back. Now this material is quite crinkly. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you don't notice it as much, and it is also quite light. You don't notice it as much as I thought you would, but it's also not ripped. I thought maybe because it's quite thin, I thought it would rip, but it hasn't, which is pretty good. Lash points on the side, both sides have two. This comes with a spot here for you to put an extra pocket on. It does come with a pocket on the other side that you can take off, but I don't know why it didn't just come with two. I guess so you could get another one. I think they do sell them on Decathlon. Now, this was the main reason I bought this. So this backpack is 45 litres, so it's the same as the base of the Sabre 45. But look at this back support. It's way, way better. This is exactly what I was talking about, that the Sabre 45 could use. Something like that. It's really good for when you have that extra weight. You don't feel anything digging into your lower back. Yeah, and it's got a nice bar in the back so that you've got some extra support, which is good. It's quite a simplistic backpack until you get in to the best part of it. Now, let's say you've gone camping for a weekend, right? You've taken this backpack, you've had it nice and full, you've taken out your hammock or your tent and you've got it all set up, and on the day that you're about to pack up, it's chucking it down. Like, absolutely chucking it down. And you can't think of anything worse than packing up, but you've got to. This is a gift from God. Get ready for this. See that side zip there that you unzip? By unzipping that, you can double the size of it, and that'll just allow you to chuck stuff in. I've had this exact scenario happen to me before, where the last thing I could be bothered to do is to get everything packed perfectly. It's chucking it down. It's not happening. So you just double the size of it. It's now like 90 litres. So you can just literally chuck all of your stuff in and then sort it out when you get home and dry everything off or whatever. But yeah, this was the main reason why I bought it, because you see backpacks that are kind of adjustable where they say like they're 60-70 or 70-80, but to see one that was saying 45-90, I was like, this is mental. I've got to see this. But I've never put it to 90 and then filled it and then taken it out, but I just like having the option to do that. I do think, similarly to the Sabre 45 though, that the back support maybe would begin to fail or to be more uncomfortable if you filled this to 90 litres. I think, for me, I don't know if I've just got a freakishly long back or not, but it comes in one size, and it's ever so slightly too small. It's a lot more comfortable than the Sabre 45 is, but if I was to change one thing, I would have it just have a couple of extra loops for you to fasten into to get that extra adjustability. Really, I think that would make it a lot better, and it would also mean that this 90 litre thing could be used a bit more frequently, because there's no point in using it if you're going to be in agony the whole time. But there's that, and then another thing, and this really is such a shame with this backpack, is the straps. Now, we've just come from the Sabre 45, which had insane straps. You could put it around anything. It's all good. This, however, gives you just enough. Now, what I don't understand is, you've got this option to make the bag in 90 litres, but the strap would only barely, look, this is it extended to its max, it only barely reaches this clip. So if you were to make it 90 and you had things strapped on the side, you wouldn't be able to strap them back on the side. I think this might be something that I could look into modern. Like, I think if I undid the strap here and then got a new one, really long one, and then just stitched it back to it, that could potentially be as strong as this and give me a bit more options. It's also got these, I think I forgot to mention, these are like shock absorber pads. I don't actually know what that means, but we'll just believe them. This absorbs shock. And that's it. We've done it. We've gone through all three of the backpacks. The Solognac and the Sabre 45, those two are used for the same thing. I'm not sure if I made that clear in there, but I use those for like wild camping or weekend camping or something like that. It's only the Osprey that's different in the respect of how I use it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have anything that you'd like to disagree with or query, or if you've got one of these backpacks and you think I did it dirty, or you want to clarify anything, or if you have your own backpack that you think does what I like about these even better than these, then by all means give me a shout and I'll have a look into it, because I might have mentioned at the start, but backpacks are an absolute weakness of mine. I spend ages looking through them. So yeah, I'd love to hear it. I'm hoping that it's not too long until the next video. I think because we're getting to winter time, these gear reviews like this might be a little bit more commonplace. I do want to try and take out my hammock and go through all the different things that I've got for that and see how well it does in cold weather. But at the minute, we're coming on to -4. I think we're getting a bit too cold. So if we have a little week in the middle of there where it works, where it gets a little bit warmer, I'll probably give that a go then. But yeah, let me know if that sounds good. It's just an idea that I had, and I'm planning on doing more gear related things. So yeah, thank you very much, and I hope to see you again shortly. Bye bye.